Well, hello there. This is just a quick video on how to multiply and divide integers. Remember, integers are numbers that go down into the negatives, as you can see down here. -3, -4, even the number 3, even though it's positive, that's still an integer. Heck, 0 is part of the integers as well. But there's some rules here that you need to know when you're multiplying or dividing integers. And you could take all of these rules and just remember this. When the signs are different, you will get, the answer will be negative, okay? But when the signs are the same, it'll always turn out positive when it comes to multiplying or dividing integers. Can you remember that? When the signs are different, you are going to end up with a negative answer. And really quickly, remember the video I just did before this on adding and subtracting integers. Do you remember -2 plus -2 plus -2? I know that's weird, but if you were to put these all together, if you watch the video previous to this, you're going to end up actually getting -2, and -2 and -2 will make -6. But in multiplication, you can speed this up. It's like saying 3 times, and we put it in brackets sometimes, 3 times -2, which is exactly what we just did right here. We went -2 plus -2 plus -2. When you go 3 times something, well, it's really just adding over and over again. So do you remember what I just said about the signs? That's a +3. This is a -2. When you multiply these two together, you're going to end up with a negative, okay? And the 3 times 2, we already know from past math experience, that is 6, okay? So that's the rule you have to remember with these signs, okay? So with that having been said, let's change the color of our ink here. Let's try like a, I don't know, a blue or a green. How's green? Is that okay? All right. So let's try this out. 3 times 4. Well, you know what 3 times 4 is. It's 12, if you know your times tables. And if you don't, you can punch it in a calculator. But anyway, what's the rule? Well, when you have two negative signs, these signs are the same. So the answer is going to be positive. So the answer is just the answer is just 12. Boy, oh boy, why did I say negative? The answer is just 12. Two negatives make a positive. Why remember all these rules, though? When the signs are different, you get a negative answer. Otherwise, you get a positive answer. Okay, let's try the next one. This one's a little trickier because there's 3 numbers that are being multiplied. Let's start with these two right here. Well, 6 times 4 is 24. Is that going to make a positive or a negative 24? That's right. The 24 will be a positive because these signs are the same. A negative and a negative, when multiplied, will always give you a positive. So you get 24. Don't forget the 3. 24 times 3. Do you remember that, people? 24 times 3. If you want to do it this way, you can. 4 times 3 is 12. 6, that'd be 72. Okay, 72 is going to be our final answer for that question. This one here, 11 times -2. Okay, well, the signs are different. We've got a positive sign and a negative sign. So if the signs are different, you will get a negative answer. So it's going to be negative. What's 11 times 2? That one's nice and easy. 22. Okay, so that answer equals -22. Let's try the next one. This time we're dividing. The rules are still the same. If the signs are different, negative here, positive here, then we're going to get a negative answer. Okay, so what's 10 divided by 5, people? That's right. 10 divided by 5 is 2. We are done this question. How handy is that? Next one. We've got a negative here and a negative here. We're dividing. The rule is if the signs are the same, we always get a positive answer. By the way, when the answer is positive, we don't need to write a plus sign like we did up here. We just left it as 72. We didn't put plus 72 or plus 12. We only show a sign in the final answer when it's just a number, when it's negative. Okay? If it's positive, you can just leave it blank. All right, so negative 12, and negative 3. We know the answer is going to be positive, so I'm just going to put an equal sign. What's 12 divided by 3, people? That's right. We are done this question. Please verify with a calculator if you don't like the way I do this in my head, because I might be doing it wrong for all we know. A question like this is a little more complicated. I like to start with figuring out what's done on top and then figuring out what's on the bottom, and then we'll do it one last time to get the final answer. So 20 times 3 is 60. But remember, a positive times a negative, when the signs are different, we get a negative answer. So there's a negative 60 on top. On the bottom, the signs are the same, so we're going to get a positive answer, and it's going to be 12, because 6 times 2 is 12. We're almost done this question. If we can reduce this, that would be great. Let's try it. What's 60 divided by 12? Well, if you take a calculator, or if you do it in your head, or if you do long division, you should get 5. Because 5 times 12 I know is 60. Okay, and you know it too. Is it positive or negative, that 5? Have a look. We've got a negative on top, a positive on the bottom. When the signs are different, we get a negative answer. It's a negative 5. Okay, let's turn the page here, do 2 more questions, and call it a day. All right? A question like this, you need to remember, and you can even watch a video that I have on bed mass, because this question has division here, or 2 fractions basically, and we have a plus sign. Yes, this is 2 fractions. We could go and try and make these denominators the same and deal with it that way. That would get you the right answer in the end as well. But I'm noticing here that negative 24 divided by 6 will just give us a number, and negative 21 divided by 7 will give us another number, and then we can just deal with that. So in this case, we don't have to treat this like a fraction where we have to get the common denominator and do all of that stuff. Okay? So let's do that. What's 24 divided by 6? Well, I know 6 times 4 is 24. Okay? Is it going to be positive or negative? It's going to be negative, because a negative and a positive will give us a negative. Now we've got a plus sign here. I'll just put plus there. No matter what happens over here, I'll put it in brackets what the answer is. What's 21 divided by 7? Well, if you know your times tables, you know the answer is 3. Is that a positive 3 or a negative 3? Well, negative and a positive. That'll give us a negative. So what's the final answer here? What's negative 4 plus negative 3? Now, from the last video, I got people to remember when there's 2 signs together like this, a plus and a minus, it's the same rules that we saw here on the front page. Okay, it's these same 3 rules. If you see signs together like this, plus and minus, you can rewrite it with just one sign. So a positive and a negative, they're different signs, so you just end up writing the negative sign or the minus sign. So if you're on a number line, you go down 4 and you go down 3 more, you end up at negative 7. And that is our final answer for this question. Okay? Feel free to rewind what I just said if that was confusing. I hope not. Because I'm not doing this live, I can't look at your faces and see someone at the back kind of looking at me saying, what the heck are you talking about? Anyway, I'm going to go to the last question here. For those of you that get it and those of you that don't, keep looking at this stuff. Keep reviewing it. Hit that rewind button. Again, bed mass. What I'm going to do is simplify this thing so that it doesn't look so complicated like this. All right? So I'm going to start with the negative 2 times 7. That would give us a minus sign or a negative sign, 14. Over here I'm going to write the plus sign again. What's negative 1 times negative 5? Well, 2 negatives when you multiply, you get a positive. Okay, I'm leaving the 3 on the bottom. And negative 14 plus 5 is, well, negative 14 plus 5, you're going to end up with negative 9 over 3. And we don't have to leave it like this because we can still reduce this. In this case, we can actually just divide, which works nicely because this whole lesson was on multiplying and dividing integers. So Negative 9 divided by 3, what do we get? Well, negative divided by a positive, you're going to end up with a negative, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. We are now done this lesson where we figured out how to multiply and divide positive and negative numbers, otherwise known as integers. Okay? I hope this video has been helpful, and I wish you luck as you do your own math homework. Okay, take care, everyone.